Three, two, one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Airing It Out podcast live. I am Dustin Marion, my partner in crime, Hollow Clutch. Before we get Hollow in the building, I just want to let you guys know if you like it, and if you want to keep getting us onto this thing coming up on your feed, subscribe. But we're trying to get this custom URL out there, so we really appreciate the support from everybody. Thanks so much for the people that have been supporting us up until this point. Hollow, what is up? How we doing?
Chilling, man. Doing good. Can't complain, man. I'm excited. It was an interesting long week. A lot.
It's only Thursday, and it feels like it's like Sunday.
Yep, a lot of things like just going on. I think in the world and just life. Trying to just get shit situated, get shit dialed. And I'm excited. I'm excited. Like every day is a blessing.
Agreed.
And
I wanted to say this to interrupt you. I'm so grateful for you, brother.
I'm grateful for you too, my guy. I love you. You're my guy.
I know, bro. We got it. I feel like you got to celebrate the wins, even if they're small wins, right?
Give people the roses while they're still here.
It's crazy, man.
That's one thing. Like as we can see, maybe the passing of DMX. You have everybody praising, showing love, and parades. Playing his music. But like,
yeah, I've been in NYC. Is it everybody just playing DMX all the time? I mean, because YO especially.
Exactly. You heard it in the street. You heard it in the streets. You saw it like on social media. You saw people like around outside the hospital where he passed away. You heard people around the area. My point, what I was trying to get to is, like I always find it weird when like everybody starts playing somebody's music when they pass away, but when they're alive, it's like, I already heard it. Like, next, like, what's the next thing? What's the next bippity boppity boo thing? And it's a little, like, I always thought about it was weird. Like, even when, like Michael Jackson's dead, he's making more money now than when he was alive. So that's like, right there, not giving somebody their roses, while they're still alive. The first thing that comes out for either like DMX or Michael Jackson, it will be the child shit with Michael Jackson, or DMX would be drugs already. Like people don't like to give people the praise of their greatness, and people little by little people are doing that, but we gotta do a little bit more.
Yeah, no, it's been a minute because I used to gush on Homeboy's album. I think I broke the CD because I played it so many times.
What's a CD?
Oh my god. And so I feel you. I think you know who was guilty of that too, or we were guilty of doing it too. Also, was when Prince. Nobody's playing no goddamn Prince music. Homeboy passes away, and you hear it on every corner.
But a little like with Prince. Prince had the whole. He was like fuck the industry. So right. The industry kind of blackballed him.
Yeah.
And then people like couldn't appreciate Prince unless you was a really big Prince fan, or your mom put you on the Prince, or your father put you on the Prince, or you grew up in that era. It was Michael Jackson versus Prince. But since Michael was with the labels and Prince was like, nah, fuck y'all, I'm gonna be independent because I already see where this is going. That's why he came out with the formerly known as Prince, because they didn't want to give him his name Prince. So his name was formerly known as Prince, and he had a symbol as his freaking his name was a symbol. So.
It's crazy, bro. I was about to come hard in the paint because I was gonna do Prince, Minneapolis, and go Hamon. But we're gonna take a break on that real quick. I'm gonna pass the rock. And I wanted to talk really quickly about because politics now is bigger than it's ever been. The rise of Fox Media, the rise of CNN, CNBC. So I don't even know. You tell me maybe if you do, but someone polled to see if The Rock. And he probably did it in his camp because he's thinking about it, I'm sure, to see whether or not he would get a good response or even a response to be running for president. And apparently the data came back and it was extremely positive. And I think he released a statement saying that because of the data, now he's interested in potentially running. I don't know if he said 2024. But said
eventually, sometime.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he just be clapping weights all day. Yo, what?
The most jacked president of all time.
Not only that, right? I wonder if he'd put a gym in the White House, bro. Like
probably,
because he's an animal, bro. No one gets jacked more than him. What do you think about him if he did run for president, and if he became president, what would you think?
I want to. Hopefully, he's ready for that kind of scrutiny. Um, because if he comes in, and I think if he lays out all the facts and he builds a good camp around him, because I know it doesn't sometimes translate, but the people he surrounds himself in business, he's winning. The people who surround himself in his entertainment business, he's winning. I think as long as he, surrounds himself with the right people, right smart people in each department, like somebody, Department of Education, get somebody who's an educator, a professor, a teacher, somebody who's progressive and knows what the fuck they're talking about. When it comes to the Department of Education or the Department of Housing or the Department, like, stop getting all these hedge fund guys to come in and then be the Department of Education. You have having somebody who's running a hedge fund or was running a hedge fund coming in and taking over these departments where you need a totally different expertise. Director of the EPA, it shouldn't be somebody who was in the gas and fossil fuel industry. Clearly they have a motive and an underlying target to get to. So hopefully, he's a people's champ. Growing up, he was a people's champ, and
he just wins, bro.
And hopefully, like I said, he just surrounds himself with smart people, because most successful people are just maniacal and they get the right person for the job. And a president is a tough thing. You just have to be really good at delegating. And some people think like the president is the end all be all and is doing everything by himself. It's not how it works. Like, you put somebody in charge that you trust to to be in charge of the Department of Defense or the education, and depending on how they do, it reflects you. And if they do poorly, you do poorly. So I think he can do it. I think he can win. Everybody knows who he is, and I just hope he just brings facts. He could do a 2-hour movie kind of thing and just state all the facts and how he's gonna fix everything. 'Cause I think he'll get enough airtime. And if people don't give him airtime, we're in the digital age of social media. And I don't understand why more like politicians don't do this. Have your own YouTube channel. You go live on your own YouTube channel. You go point by point by point, and you show exactly how you're gonna fix it. How can it be fixed? What economist back your ideas for the economic policies? What people in the defense area back your defense contract? And go down these lines. For some reason, politicians don't do that, and I don't think their campaign managers have even thought about doing that yet. I saw Andrew Yang, for the most part, was kind of like dabbling, going to every single person. He didn't care what side of the aisle you were on. But for the most part, there's not an individual person who says, hey, listen, I'm doing a live town hall meeting on Tuesday at 7 p.m. on YouTube. It's going to be no filters. Everything's going to be asked. This is how I'm going to fix the roads in Yonkers. Blah, 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 blah. And this is how I'm going to fix jobs in Yonkers. Blah, 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 blah. It's never like that. It's here's a big ass stack of paper. Read it yourself, and we're going to figure it out from there.
Yeah, no, I also think that when they run for presidency, right? So like with Barack, a lot of people weren't crazy about him in the beginning in the sense of like the Republican Party, but then you team him up with, a seasoned veteran, let's call him Uncle Joey. Joe Biden kind of sealed the deal. Same thing for Donald, even going back to George Bush Jr. Had Dick Cheney. So I also think that even though that's important too, it's also going to be important who he decides to get as his running mate. Because the vice president obviously does a lot more than we know, and it seems to be like they do a lot more in the shadows, because Cheney did a lot of stuff that obviously wasn't great, but Mike Pence was in charge of the COVID task force, and then now we don't hear too much about Kamala Harris, but I don't watch that much coverage, so I don't know if she's still doing stuff behind the scenes.
I feel like she's the one doing everything. Like she's
that's what, I mean, everybody's discussing it and making it seem that way, and I mean, it raises a question to see, for us to understand. It's like, is the president overall just a figurehead, and the VP is actually the one that's rolling up their sleeves and meeting with all of the senators and the governors and all these other guys at the federal, state, and local levels to get shit done. But I think that would be important for him if he was deciding to do that, to bring someone like that on, and it would be strong. I mean, I think we talked about it a few shows back because Rogan brought it up, And I think a powerful ticket would be The Rock and Andrew Yang, right? Like you got somebody who can execute, knows how all the things are not only ideas, but how to be practical at the approach. And so that would be a hell of a combination. I also think Jocko Willing was another guy that Rogan threw out there to be someone.
Or Yang Gabbert.
Right. These guys that are either military or political interest, right? Because I'm wondering when we're going to consider that again. Because the last person that we had in office was George Bush Sr., and Sr. obviously was the head of the CIA, and then prior to that we had an actor. So it's weird how you look at the last few years, and then again with Clinton it was a little different. But there's another part that I want to get into. I mean, I did some work and I was trying. It was so crazy. I got distracted with so much of the opening monologue that I couldn't even think of like news or no news because there was just so many gosh darn stories. But let's not bury the lead here. And really, I mean, I don't even know how to go in, but we'll start in slowly. And we'll say that another black male killed by the police in Minnesota during the George Floyd, Derek Shaw trial. The young man's name was Dante Wright. And this was the interesting thing to me. Two things, actually. It was a female officer who shot and killed him. And then the other alarming part was she claimed that she meant to go for her taser, but she went for her gun. And so with that confusion, I guess in the moment, she shot and killed another young man. So I'll throw it to you first, and then we'll see how this goes, because it might get spicy up in here. I turned on the AC just in case. So let's see what you got.
Okay, so
there's a lot to unpack here.
There's a lot to unpack, a lot. So they stopped him for expired tags. That's the first thing they did. So first they were pulling him over for expired tags, and then he kept driving for about 5 to 10 minutes longer when the lights behind him. Supposedly he didn't feel safe, and he went to a more public area. So right there, as a police officer, if I'm trying to get you to pull over and you're driving for 10, 15 more minutes, that's kind of alarming and a red flag already. So whatever. Let's say this young man said he didn't feel comfortable, or with the girlfriend says that he didn't feel comfortable, so he's gonna keep driving. Okay, whatever. So now the cops are already approached kind of like halfway, like, hey, I don't know what's going on here. Why does he keep driving for 10, 15 minutes? So then they approach the car, guys on the side, making sure, because you don't know what can happen. Guy kept driving, so they walk up to the car and they say, whatever, you have expired tags, your registration is expired, whatever. I think it's expired registration. So they tell him to come out the car. They run the plates. They run his tag. He has a warrant for his arrest for the expired tags or registration. They tell him, hey, look, you're under arrest. Homeboy in the video, if you haven't seen it, go look it up. In the video, the first cop's already there, about to handcuff him. The woman comes over with the body cam, goes to assist in the arrest. Homeboy, then Dante Wright, goes and resists arrest. And he fights the cops, gets into the driver's seat. At that point, what most people don't understand is that's all bang, 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 bang. When you're trying to arrest somebody and they pull away from being handcuffed and jump into the driver's seat and then leaning over to the passenger seat, you don't know what's going to happen at that point in time. So the woman who says she's going for the taser, takes out her gun, shoots the young man and kills him. I'm going to first and foremost, she should be fired. She should lose her pension because she's been on the force for 26 years or 28 years, something like that. The fact that you don't know the difference between your taser and a handgun is unacceptable. But the whole thing is instigated by homeboy resisting arrest and getting into the car. All you had to do was, I've been pulled over for registration. My license is being suspended. I just put my hands behind my back, went to get a ticket, went to the cell, the holding, whatever, in the station. I was there for 30 minutes, and I was out and on my way. So all he had to do was get arrested, say, hey, listen, we're going to have to take your car, impound your car, go to the station, give you a ticket, make sure you don't have any warrants anywhere else, write you a ticket. We're gonna hold onto your driver's license, and you get it back when you go to the DMV. And then we'll just go to proceedings like that. But no, for whatever reason, he decided to resist arrest, pull away from the cops, jump into his car, lean over to the other side of towards the passenger side. All this, you don't know what's happening. And from the outside looking in, everybody thinks it's gonna be like a calm, collective. Oh, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. You're not there in the moment. You don't know when you're walking up to a car, what's gonna happen. And then there's a lot of misnomers with the statistics, which we could get into. But I want to hear your thoughts on the whole thing, and then we could go from there.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into the statistics, but this is my thing. Okay, first of all, yes, it's bang bang, right? So I get that adrenaline, a bit of confusion. There's a franticness, but your boy right now has been trying to understand guns, right? And I believe like guns now should be like fire extinguishers. If there's a fire, you should know how to use a fire extinguisher. Mm-hmm. The way this country is going, you might want to know how to unload and load a magazine. You might want to get like some gun etiquette. That being said, I think it's very bad looking on her that she's been in the force for 20 plus years and still doesn't know the difference of the weight
for sure
of the weapon. Okay, because I held a gun and I literally I don't know if he's listening out there. Shout out to Surf City, Tabby's dad, but he literally, when we went to Oklahoma, he was like, look, feel the gun. And I felt it. It felt super light because it was a Glock. He put the magazine in there, and all of a sudden, there's a huge difference. I've never really held. I've held the shitty tasers that you hold on the sides. They have like that gun, that yellow looking one that shoots out. I doubt it's that heavy. Also, muscle memory, right? Like if you're a righty, isn't your gun on your right side? Like what in the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Like I get bang bang bang. But first of all, this is another thing that I wanted to bring up too. I've been in the bar business a long time, okay? And I'm not trying to correlate bartending with being a police officer. But what I'm trying to correlate is when shit is crazy, okay? And I've been in restaurants and I've been in bars where it's fucking so nuts, bro, and you're sweating so bad and you're so scared and nervous that you almost want to quit. So dealing with that high stress environment, eventually you get used to it. It's called being in the weeds, right? That's just bartending. Everybody that I've ever worked with, they've always been nervous. You couldn't even imagine how people tank, bro. I swear to God, I see them. I'm one of the coolest cats in the building, right? Now, I'm not saying that would have made me a cooler cat, but I got calm nerves. What I'm trying to correlate is that you've been in the force 20 years. How many arrests have you made? Or a lot? You still don't know what side your gun is on? You still don't know how to apprehend a guy? I mean, shucks, this is not me advocating for police violence, but damn, take out the gun and pop him beside the head. Take out your baton, pop him beside the head. Like, do so. I mean, why are we grabbing and shooting, right? Another thing, we're worried about assault rifle bans in this country. When are we going to start worrying about whether or not police should be, like, should we make different task force? Like, should there be a highway patrol where you can't, I mean, this thing is so huge. I'm not saying that cops shouldn't have guns, but I'm getting worried about them having guns. Because not only that, the guy in ATL, right, that shoot the dude at the Wendy's, he said the same shit. I meant to reach for my taser. Again, your taser's on your left side, bro. Not on your right side. Grabs the taser, shoots the guy. Bang, bang. Again, it happened quick. But what I don't understand is a lot of these guys are in tussles, right? You got a body armor, you got cuffs, you got magazine, like you got so much shit. I feel like police are scared. Why did you take the job if you're scared? Where's the training at? I mean, like, it's same thing for me. Like, I'm a righty, bro, and I'm huge in muscle memory because muscle memory for me, like, empties out my bandwidth so I can put more stuff in there. There's no way you don't know this is your gun. There's no way. There's no way. I get bang, bang. Like, you still see it. You feel it. Like, I know the adrenaline's pumping, but I mean, and I know you're saying, reaching over, grabbing over. Look, the fear of getting shot makes you do crazy shit. But at the same time, bro, the numbers are just getting ridiculous, bro. Everybody's getting shot.
Not really, and then that's a whole nother thing.
Well, we're talking. Okay, how about this? The news is constantly showing us police shooting people. Forget if they're white or black.
Because that's the media is an assholes and they're just driving fear mongering. More civilians kill cops than cops kill civilians. That's a known fact.
Okay, that's a statistic that it real. I understand that. But what I don't understand is why are police not handling situations without like better discretion is my concern.
But all right, so they're in a lose-lose situation. So let's say, right, if homeboy, first of all, let's start over. First of all, people need to understand how to get arrested.
I was gonna say that too. Agreed. There's a guy, his name is Pot Law. He's on Instagram. Follow him because he literally tells you, "Shut the fuck up, get arrested, and worry about it later."
Exactly.
Right? Like, you gotta survive the altercation. But continue.
That's it. There's too many times. Okay, it's 2 times in my lifetime. 2 times I've had cops draw guns on me. First time, I was running out of the building because it was pouring rain. I was running to the ATM to get cash because a shorty was coming over. And in that time, the block used to be hot. So I run out the house, I run out the building, full speed on some and 3 cop cars come and catch me in the corner. All draw guns on me. And they all go, "Why are you running?" I had my hands up. I kept them up. Then fucking nothing. They came up. They put my hands behind my back and said, "What are you doing? Why are you running?" I said, "I'm running to the ATM to get cash." And they said, "Oh, okay." And they let me go.
Okay, hold on. Before you finish on that, you don't think that's fucking alarming though, bro?
It is alarming, but what I'm saying is
that's profiling. Just because a guy is fucking running, we gotta get 3 cars on him. Because I was there with you, bro. NYC in the pit of that shit was fucking ridiculous, bro.
But what I'm saying is, what if I would have ran after they rolled up on me, or if I would have put my hands in, or if I would have tussled with them, I would have got cracked in the head, or something could have happened to me, right?
You would have got shot.
So now another situation was I was coming out of my apartment and I had a camcorder, and the camcorder was like this long. It looked like this, like a battery pack. It was long, so like the way I was holding it was kind of like that,
and black in the dark.
And it was black, and in my hand, and I had it on my side.
Looks like a guy.
And they jumped out the car and they pointed guns at me and said, "What the fuck's in your hand?" And they was like, "Don't raise your arm." And guess what I didn't do? Didn't raise my fucking arms. I left it down. They came up, approached me slowly. I didn't do any fucking stupid movements. They came, they took it out of my hand, and it was a fucking camera charger. And they was like, "All right, no problem." And they went on their way. But why can't people?
Oh, that's 197?
Exactly.
I don't mean to laugh. Those motherfuckers were hot on that block, bro.
But my thing is, why couldn't just the kid would have got arrested and just went to the fucking booking, got his ticket for driving with expired tags. Nothing happens. There's never an instance where somebody is just walking or just sitting. It's rare. It's very, very rare. That the cop just rolls up on somebody and just shoots them just for them walking. It doesn't work like that. That's fighting.
Not entirely true. That's not entirely true.
Show me where somebody's just walking and they just shoot them for no reason, just for being black. Majority of the time, 95% of the time, 95, 96% of the time, they're resisting arrest. They're telling you, "Suck my dick, I ain't doing shit." Fighting, resisting arrest, and escalating the situation.
Yeah.
And people don't want to hear that. And that's the annoying part that I have with these athletes or celebrities or any public figure or even the news. Listen, homeboy fucked up. Homegirl fucked up. Should she be fired from her job, lose her pension? Yes. But let's not lose sight of us people, the people, civilians. We need police. So this whole notion of defund the police is not what needs to happen.
No. Look, first of all, we'll piggyback that because we need to talk about that as well. Crime has risen in actual places that have been using that slogan more and more and more. Mm-hmm. Okay. Not only that, police that have been on the force for a long time are retiring at an alarming rate.
Yeah, because they're like, fuck this.
Right.
But it's a lose-lose situation.
With the situation, right? Who's going to want to be a cop now?
Exactly.
Right? Now, you got all the vets retiring. You got nobody bringing in new. We got defund the police. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? I mean, New York is on fire. Okay.
We need to stop doing, but that's the thing. We need to stop.
Well, we got to look at the facts. Yeah, and I think that when we talk, you're practical. It makes sense. I get it, right? But what I'm saying is, okay, everything you said is correct. But the problem is that these guys are supposed to be trained not to kill you.
But that's the issue, is that they're not trained good.
That's a problem. That's a fucking problem. And I think that's where the blurred line is, right?
Exactly.
People don't know how to articulate, like, yo, we're tired of people getting killed at the hands of police because of shitty training. I mean, I don't know if this stat is like 100% right, but it's kind of right. Some of these guys only have to not service their weapon, but hit marksman training once a year.
Yeah.
Are you fucking crazy? You literally have a deaf camcorder, like because you said, or charger on your side. You should be a fucking marksman all the time. You should be hitting the range all the time. You should be training more and more and more and more. One of my biggest gripes with this whole situation is, okay, let's say the police, even if it's 20 years, they're still kind of nervous doing their job because obviously, it's a dangerous job.
Could be your last day.
Bill Maher just said it's not even in the top 10 of most dangerous jobs in America. There's a statistic to back that up. Okay, but shouldn't we be starting to look at maybe retired military guys so that they can make a transition back into the community, getting these dudes into the building, right? Like, why are we not getting, former veterans into the police force? We're getting guys, listen, the consensus is there's a lot of action junkies. There's a lot of mentally unstable dudes that apply for becoming police officers, get the fucking job, and they end up
also
being
the job. But
even my man Derek had a fucking long list. And excuse me, he's not my fucking man. I should change that shit. Homeboy Derek has a long list of fucking like police corruption, basically, of beating fucking suspects, handling arrests crazy. Like, this is not just a small thing. The thing is like fucking Minnesota has a huge problem. That's
the issue that they should have. That's so like we could break it down into layers. So like people get PTSD. So cops, like, one thing is that people still don't understand too with cops, and I sound like I'm defending them solely, but I'm not. Cops, suicide, you call the cops. Robbery, you call the cops. You got a roommate who doesn't want to leave your house, call the cops. Domestic violence, call the cops. Child abuse, call the cops. Murder, call the cops. Everything is call the cops. Cops. We don't have a specific like task within. So if somebody has a child abuse situation, why isn't there child abuse people who
a unit specifically to respond to child abuse?
Yeah, sex special, You have all these.
That's something that we got to start looking at. Yeah. I agree with you 100% on that.
Because you have like some of these people who, let's say they do a traffic stop, and their partner gets killed because they fucked up and didn't back up the partner in the right way. Now that's a psychological thing that messes with somebody.
But you also got to look at this too. I mean, I'm just basing this bullshit from fucking Lethal Weapon, but they do fucking medical evals. I mean, mental evals on these fucking guys, bro. You should know that you can't put this dude back in the field. Like, they got to start really looking at some of these guys' jackets and being like, dude, sorry, you're done. Like, it's got to be like a one and done situation. If you fuck up, or if you're in a fucked up situation, you might not be able to be mentally like ready. Like, look, we just seen that movie last week, Cherry. Homeboy was fucked up from just watching his boys get ripped up.
Exactly.
Right? So like, maybe that's another thing too. And I just did a show, shout out to Kay Smythe, but we just did a show about mental health in this country. Mental health is huge. Nobody's even addressing that. So not even, again, to not side with you or saying that I'm, a Blue Lives Only Matter or Blue Lives Matter, whatever the fucking slogan is, but maybe they need to start being fucking looked at mentally, because we're starting to let our cops in the streets that maybe are not fit to handle this shit.
Got it. But we can't keep like you even said it. The media only shows.
I get that. But also, too, I get that, bro. But this is like stacking the fucking chip. Forget about the media.
But it's not. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
In the last 1 year,
okay,
it's been getting crazy. It's been getting like alarmingly crazy. Homeboy in Atlanta, gunned down for a tussle, DUI stop. Okay, homeboy, even though he resisted arrest, and actually both dudes resisted arrest in that situation. Okay.
So what do you want the cop to do?
Go taser him. You got like fuck.
But the thing. Okay, the guy went in Atlanta. They tasered him. It didn't work because he was a bigger guy. Sometimes taser does not work.
And you motherfuckers need to know fucking judo or start fucking.
Agree. But what I'm saying is you can't blame the cops if somebody is resisting arrest.
If you're running away, bro, you do not have the right to fucking gun me down. No.
I don't know. You're aiming something back at me. We don't know what he grabbed in the tussle. That's what I'm saying. That's what happened in Atlanta. The guy goes and is shooting something back. Shit.
Listen, I've spoken to a couple of the police sources that I know, bro, and it's just crazy that these dudes are hungry for fucking collars. They're hungry for collars. Bro, you gotta fucking fucking chopper. You gotta fucking call for backup. Like, if you're that scared, bro, listen, the reason why.
But then it's a lose-lose still, because then they'll be like, oh, why is there so many cops here? It's never enough to satisfy people from the outside looking in.
I get that, but the dude, bro. Okay, listen to this. How about let's backtrack a little bit, right? With the Atlanta specifically, and the new fucking Minneapolis bullshit. Grab the taser. Okay, if I mean, come on, listen. Let's think about being a police officer as being in war. I got it. Okay, if you're holding, everybody's holding. But there's also got to be a thing that you got to have your wits about you. Okay, he's pointing shit. All right, get down, take cover. Okay, but unless you start seeing fire or light or gunshots, you shouldn't be emptying out magazines and fools. How about that kid, Abdul Diablo, and I might be saying his name wrong. Yeah. He got shot like fucking 90 times. Those dudes reloaded.
That was crazy.
There's a problem.
But then again, that's what I'm saying. That's one isolated incident that it gets magnified. But I understand that. But nobody. What about the people who kill cops? Nobody gives a fuck about them.
Listen. I'm going to bring up something in a second.
That's what I'm talking about.
I get you on that. But what I'm saying is, let's go back to compounding this year. Okay, you got the ATL guy who gets gunned down. You get hold on. You get George Floyd gets gunned down, right? You get a no-knock warrant, okay, that gets kicked down the fucking door. Which, by the way, no-knock warrant should be thrown out the fucking window, because you should not be kicking down fucking doors, gun blazing. Okay,
that's not what happened. But go ahead.
We'll paraphrase it. If we want to dig in deeper, we're looking at it. I'm trying to make it short so that I can kind of make a point. But
I'm saying, like, we got to. Here's my issue. So I have to cut you off right there.
Please,
because you and we have to educate our listeners.
You have a responsibility.
So we can't do what the media is doing. I can't just paraphrasing, because it has to be.
Let's say there's over 10 incidents over 1 year.
Okay, so 10 out of 10 million stops.
I get that.
I'll take those odds. I'll take them every day. Everything's gonna fall through the cracks. Something's always gonna happen. But listen to me. But all right, so those 10 things out of 10 million stops, right? So 10 out of 10 million stops. That's less than 0.1%.
Okay.
Cops still get killed more than those 10 instances by the hands of citizens.
I'm not saying that the job isn't dangerous. I'm just saying that it looks like we're not sending qualified people.
But what I'm saying is that we do have.
How do we even know? Like, first of all, some states don't even have, like, they have the option to release body cams, right? So where's the transparency? So we don't even know if it's more. We don't even know it's more.
But all those actions,
the media grabs a handle on.
All right, let's say it's 100,000.
Okay.
Cops kill people. That's still less than 0.0001%. There's 330 million people in America, and if 100,000 people die at the hands of police, which is not true, if it does happen, it's still 0.0001%. Do 100,000 divided by 330 million.
Hold on. Keep carrying it, because I'm gonna look some things up real quick while you talk, because I think it is our responsibility, since we are talking about this and we're trying to open up the discussion, because we do got to educate people. I'm agreeing with you, because I'm saying definitely these guys are dealing with crazy shit. You're saying they do get shot back. They get shot back at an alarming rate. The problem is that the narrative is dangerous, because
that's the problem.
The police are looking like they kill black males more than anything else.
Exactly. And then, like, what people don't want to talk about either is, I get it. It's been this long systematic thing where minority neighborhoods are really poor. Majority of minority neighborhoods are poor. And you have this whole, you have to sell drugs, you have to steal in order to survive, and things along these lines. But we still have to, it all starts in the home. It all starts with culture, having both parents there, not married or in the house, but both parents there. Your father there, your mother there, if they haven't passed away, have some type of father figure or mother figure there, because I for sure more people statistically grow up to have a better life with both parents in the home, and it's not like that in the minority neighborhoods, you know. And you have people like you have Candace Owens, which people don't like who what she's saying to try to say she's a shill or Uncle Tom, but she just spits straight facts. And why can't we, right, um as the people? So like my boys, any of my Spanish friend, my other Spanish homeboys, or any of the black people who I know, or who are my friends, so they consider themselves black, they grew up in the hood. I'm like, we have to change your mindset in this hood mentality, and in this being trapped in this culture of always having to be the victim, always saying that you can't get out, and it's always somebody else's fault. That's why I love the Kanye West interview that he has with Sway. And in that
I'm still listening. I'm taking it.
In that interview, he says, they ask him, Sway says, "Hey Kanye, what do you think about the people who say you turned yourself on black culture?" And he says 1000% I turn my back on black culture. And the reason being is because they always want to blame somebody else for their problems, or always looking for a handout. And I'm just tired of that shit. We can make it. We can do good things. But the media, the Democrats don't do a good job of helping shit, but they always supposedly for the little man, and they don't help anybody. So it's a little misleading, and the only reason why I get upset
I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I definitely think that there is some things about the culture within the society. I don't agree with everything that was just said. I agree with most of the stuff that you said, but I definitely think that we got to start looking within ourselves and have community leaders trying to help us out. But in the fact of West, my man, you're a fucking billionaire, bro. Even if you're a millionaire, I can't even believe you would say you would turn your back on a fucking black culture. Instead of turning your back, this is the problem. Instead of turning your back, why don't you turn around and help people? This is the problem.
He does, and he has. But again,
bullshit, bro. A lot of this stuff is fucking bullshit, bro. Okay, because
I'm gonna
tell you for a second, and you tell me what you think, and then I don't want you to forget what you were gonna say. But let's say, for example, LeBron James has a basketball camp, right? I get it. It's for the best of the best basketball players because he's obviously trying to help kids, let's say, get to the next level. But what about helping just kids play fucking basketball, period? Right? Like, all the courts we know are all fucked up, are all fucking shitty. The rims are garbage. Like, why are we not giving more back? You know what burns my fucking ass? When I see a fucking celebrity donate $100,000 and their fucking annual income is like $20 million. It's like, bro, $100,000, that shit is nothing. You're not even helping. And another thing that gets me too is like, when I think the rhetoric started, and I'm not trying to point this just to the NBA, but I've been thinking about this lately. The moment that they say that I'm not a role model, I believe that was Charles Barkley who said that. I'm not a role model. Bullshit. You are. Whether you want to be or not, you are. You know why? Because you were someone who came out of a tough system and made it. Everyone else is going to fucking copy the way you roll. You are. Whether you want to be or not. Bro, we blow up for Latinos. People are going to be like, damn, man. You remember D? You remember H? When they were just grinding back in the day? Yo, I want to be there. Let me watch all their shows. Let me see everything they fucking did and let me copy it. And then we fucking blow up. We're fucking millionaires and we don't even go back to the hood where we were at. We don't even fucking break bread. You know what I mean? Like fucking J-Lo wants to rock. Or Johnny from the block. Really? I've never seen you on the block ever. Ever. So these are the things, okay? Community leaders in our community.
But that's why
the higher ups need to come back. Michael Jordan. LeBron James has made enough fucking money, bro. Enough money. First of all, I think it's stupid that they stopped playing games. Or one game. We stopped one game. Okay, cool. It's like we did our fucking one good deed for the day. No, the NBA was done. If I'm LeBron James, I stop playing. So I stop playing. Like, we need to look at this.
But that's an issue that I had with them. There's no LeBron James coming out saying, hey, listen, we have a big issue in our community. Let's do step by step. Hey guys, if you get pulled over by the cops, listen to the police, record everything from your end. If you live in a community that the police have body cams, request the body cam footage if you feel like you was, something was done wrong to you. But hey, if the cop says, put your hands out the window, step out of the window, put your hands behind your back, just fucking comply. If you've done something wrong, if they're pulling you over for expired tags or speeding or whatever the case may be, if you're just sitting in your car in front of your crib and they roll up on you saying, give me your ID, get out your car, then you have to ask why. But if there's a specific reason you broke the law or something is going on that you're doing that is wrong, just get out the car, you get arrested real quick, or not even arrested, they just for police protocol, they have to put your hands behind your back and handcuff you. Even if you come up with the sweetest person in the entire planet, there's just protocol.
Okay, real quick. I want to. I agree with that statement. I'm also gonna piggyback that by saying, if Homeboy was alarmed and moved into an area where he felt like he wasn't gonna get killed, it might have been in your best interest to not resist arrest.
Exactly.
Right? He was already nervous. If he was already nervous, now let me go to something else. Did you see my man in the military uniform? Okay.
Correct. That's another guy.
Pepper spray. Hold the fuck up, though. You can't do that to people. You just can't. I get it. He should have complied. But this is the thing too. We're not lawyers, right? So what I want to do is I want to get my homegirl on here because she's not on it right now. I wish I actually could call her up. I would love for her to tell us right now. But what are my rights when you pull me over? I know my right when I'm arrested is the right to remain silent. I have the right to an attorney. If one's not provided, I know my Mirandas. But what is my fucking right? Because
when you get pulled over,
you know, Jay-Z says that you don't get the right to go into my glove compartment because you need a fucking
search warrant.
All right, so if you need a search warrant to go to my glove compartment, why in the fuck you don't need a search warrant to go to my car? Because you have probable cause? Probable cause is kind of bullshit. Because
but here's the issue. So if you get
some numbers that I want to share with you, but this is heavy.
So if you get pulled over by the police, right? You can ask them, why did I get pulled over? And they have to tell you why they pulled you over. And then once they tell you why they pulled you over, hey, you were doing 70 and a 55. I need license and registration. You get then you have to give them the license and registration. Because you're doing whatever the traffic violation or infraction is. You give it over. Now they say they run your license plate. I mean, they run your license, the registration. They say your registration's expired, or you have a warrant for your arrest. If normally 9 times out of 10, if you have like an expired sticker or anything expired, they normally give you a ticket and say, hey, you have to go into traffic court. You got to fight this and get it over with. Now, if you have a warrant for your arrest, or you have a suspended license, you have to
take you with
get out the car. You have to. Then they're gonna arrest you. They can put you behind your back, and if you can't have somebody to come pick up your vehicle where you're being arrested, then it gets towed to the impound.
Okay.
So now
I'm gonna say thank God that homeboy had pepper spray, not his fucking gun.
Okay. But now let's say the homeboy who got whatever. I can't remember. I don't know the
uniform.
Got you. But here's my thing. They're rolling up on you from behind your car.
I get that.
Screaming at the top of their lungs for you to get the fuck out of your car.
Wait, hold on. Pause for a second. He was compliant because you said if we say freeze, right, his hands were out. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was concerned also. So he went to a well-lit place because he was worried that his shit was crazy. So he was at least complying, but they wanted him out of the vehicle.
Correct.
At this point,
so you get the fuck out the car.
But wait a minute. At this point, based on what you were saying, right?
Correct.
If it's a traffic stop, right? You don't know if I have a warrant. Okay?
Correct.
No. So if my hands are out, the first thing you should ask me is license and registration. They still want to hit it out. So based on that theory, I don't got to get out the fucking car.
But again, you said it. If he continued to drive, you escalated the situation by continuing.
I talk about it all the time in California, bro. Some of the police, in the way they pull you over, and I'm not trying to interrupt you, bro. I'm not trying to dead the situation. They want to pull you. They want to pull you in the fucking middle, like in the middle of the road. They're like, bro, I'm not. This motherfuckers in California doing like 80, 90. I'm gonna go off. I mean, I wish there was like
but that's a red flag. I'm saying
you can punch in like, yo, bro, we're gonna go 10 miles, and I'm gonna pull over so I can feel safe. Because now, where is our safety being regarded? Because now it looks like we only care about the safety of the police officer.
But most police officers who pull you over on the highway say, hey, listen, we're gonna step over a little further this way because there's been a lot of accidents on the highway. So they have a protocol of safety precautions when you're pulling over somebody on the highway.
There's been stupid cheat codes that they fucked that up too, because some cops talk about, hey, I'm gonna put them in the middle, in between the car and the police car to keep us, out of traffic, right? So also you get the dash cam recording, but there's also other motherfuckers that believe that we got hit by a car, we're in the middle, it'll crush both of us, or they'll put them behind us, and now there's no fucking cam, right?
But again, that's still a small number, a small minute.
Okay, let's look at these numbers real quick. Okay, this is wikipedia.org. I'm not saying that Wikipedia is dope, because Wikipedia ain't shit. Okay, from 1980 to 2014, the average annually was 64 deaths a year. That's not a lot. Of police officers. That's not a lot.
A year, okay.
A year. That's not a lot. Okay. So let's look at years, because that's the way we did our, our top 5. We're gonna look at this by year, and the stigma is the year. In 2020, Officer Down Memorial page reported that 180 deaths, okay, was the average a year from 1990 to 2010. But in 2010, it kind of fucked around, and it was like 164 a year. Again, 200 deaths a year is not a lot. It's not what you were saying, 100,000 to 0.0000000.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a lot.
I'm talking about police deaths.
What I meant by that statement is that, let's say it's 64 cops being killed, right? It's still more than an unarmed person, not a person that was armed and that was in a violent offense. That's what the numbers get a little hairy.
Now, look, I was reporting on shit, so I had to slide down a little bit. Again, Officer Down Memorial page reported in 2002, right, 343 deaths. So that's a big jump. So 300, let's say 400. But they were saying that the leading cause of death in 2020 was due to COVID, right? And then followed by 45 deaths by gunfire. So in 2020, 45 deaths of gunfire. Now, this is weird too, because this shit is slid. It's slid. But let's back up again. Let's go to 2019, right? Officers Down Memorial page reports 159 deaths in the line of duty, right? And then in 2019, the same year, right, was gunfire. Gunfire means they got shot by somebody who killed them with a gun, was 48 deaths. So let's say that the average is 50 to 200 a year. Okay. Now, I'm going to try to see if I can pull this shit up on the fly.
You got to go down.
Okay. I went to, you could pull up your stats too. I went to Statista.com. Another fucking shit that might not be original. But in 2017, bro, 92 people were killed by cops. 92 in a month.
Now, right?
That's a lot.
But what is it saying? Is it 92 people who were just pulled over and were doing nothing, or they got pulled over, or they were doing a traffic bust, or they were in a bust or chasing somebody down?
How about this? I see you right now, right? Right now it says 2021. There's an asterisk. We got to dig into this deeper, because we should have been a little bit more prepared, because this is a fucking hot button topic and it's got the whole fucking country going nuts. 2021 in March. That's this year. 49 deaths. So let's bring it down. These numbers are crazy. I can text it to you so you can see it, because the shit is crazy. We're averaging police are killing people at about 100 deaths a month. If you're doing 60 in a year and you killing 60 a month, what in the fuck? That sounds crazy to me.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, let's look this up. We can take time, because whether it's our listeners or we fucking put this shit out there or whatever, like, we got to look at this, because I think that not only is the media fucking hyping us up, but they're hiding some serious fucking numbers. And again, I don't know if this is 100%. I literally just Googled how many cops die annually, how many people die annually by cops. And these numbers are fucking alarming, bro. Alarming. In 2019, 108 people killed. Now, granted, I'm not saying that.
But that's, again, 108 people killed out of 330 million people. Do you right, people don't understand the vast number of people and traffic stop. Go to the average traffic stop. Go to
look it up. Come on, you're better with the computer than I am. You're better than I'm trying to do
USA average
Come on, we do the Jamie on the show.
Traffic
Jamie,
stop.
a second. We fucking take a breather here because we're getting hot. While you look that up.
So 32 million Americans, 32 million are stopped by the police in traffic stops. 32 million. So they killed 100, right? Out of 32 million.
Like that number?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's not fine.
Peep this. 150 baby boys are killed every day. I mean, every year, 150 boys are killed because of circumcision.
I get it. Listen, 90,000 fucking people die of overdosing. But that's
Exactly.
we're not talking about circumcisions.
But what I'm saying is that it's still going to be
killing people.
But
that's crazy.
There is zero across the board of any occupation anywhere that has zero fatality. There's going to be some 1, 2, 5, 10.
Every job somebody's getting killed.
But what I'm saying is if you have to take the percentage into a thing. If there's 32 million traffic stops and 100 something goes away, and then even in that 100, I still have to go case by case. What was the 100?
Actually, okay. So look, this is another thing. Again, this thing is citing it. Officer Down Memorial page. So obviously this is a fucking real thing. Okay. FBI reported, okay, in the line of duty, which means that shit was getting hot. 106 cops were killed in the line of duty in 2018. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Going back to my thing right here. And again, this is not 100%. Let's say it's fucking 80. Bro, what was the number I just gave you?
109.
106. Sorry, 106. And the year was 2018. In January 2018, the police killed 99. In February, they killed 80. In March, they killed 110. In April, they killed 98. In fucking July, they killed 81. I just gave you the annual number of them dying in shit was 100. Bro, there's almost 500 people. So if you use that math, 500 people a year are dying. Granted, you just said, listen, there's a lot of motherfuckers in the building. There's tons. Right?
And then also remember, is it non-violent drug? Are they just getting pulled over?
But this is my thing. I understand those stats and they get us down to the nitty gritty. But what I'm saying is 500 to 105 is not the same thing, bro.
But I don't know what those cases are. What if the cops who killed those 500 people, what if it was the reverse?
Meaning what?
What if it was 500 cops dead and 100 people who lived, whatever, civilians? Because those civilians were able to succeed to kill those police if it was a gunfight.
I understand what I'm saying? The economics of the situation, but at the same token, these numbers are alarming.
No, they're not. To me, they're not. That's so minute. That's like the numbers of COVID. It's so minute. We cannot live your life panicking about something that's fucking minute and minor. You know what's alarming to me? 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That's fucking alarming to me. Not 0.00001% of people dying behind somebody.
That has nothing to do with the government. That has to do more to what you're talking about in culture, and that we don't fucking.
Okay, but what I'm saying,
how to fucking save. There's
correct.
No fucking.
But what I'm saying is that vast majority, 78% of people in America. So that's way over. That's probably 295 million people live paycheck to paycheck.
A lot of motherfuckers do. Everybody does.
That's alarming. If it was 200 million people dying at the hands of the police, it's 100.
I get that.
That's like nothing.
I understand that, but I feel like you're trying to make them parallel, and they're kind of sort of, but they're not really. Listen, there's multiple lanes. You just mentioned what was the number? 20%, 10% of kids, or 80% of kids that go on the circumcisions. I forgot what the number was.
150 babies die a year
annually. Okay,
annually.
All right, so that's probably 1%. If the math is
less than that.
It's probably less than that. But let's say 1% is one lane of kids that die due to circumcision. Another lane is 90,000 people are dying because of overdose. Depression numbers are out the fucking roof. Mental health is out the roof. But the thing is that the discussion, it really is, are the police becoming fucking Judge Dredd, where they are your fucking jury, judge, and executioner?
No.
That isn't your opinion. I think that they're fucking gun-ho motherfuckers that go into there.
The data doesn't back that up. That's the thing.
That's not true. The data that I showed shows that cops are. Literally said that there's more cops being killed than we're being killed.
You're showing me
killed.
I need to.
They are.
And again,
with the bullshit stats.
I need to see the case. So if the cops go like nobody talks about this. This happened 1 month ago in Nashville, Tennessee. A cop was totally compliant, pulled the lady over, tags didn't work, black woman, tags was fucked up. The person who owned the car was her ex-boyfriend or whatever the case may be. The car's in his name. He has 4 warrants for his arrest. He asked her to get out the car. He searches her bag.
I know we talked about it, right? She
finds drugs. He tells her, "Give me 1 second." Takes the drugs, puts it in the car. Comes back. She's tussling through the bag. When he's walking back to the bag, he says, "Ma'am, you can't go to the bag. I'm not done with that." She says, "Oh, I need my lighter to smoke a cigarette." He lets her get a cigarette. She smokes a cigarette. He continues to look through the bag. He finds a bowl of Coke. He says, "Ma'am, I'm going to have to arrest you." She runs away from the cop, around the car, like a fucking child, screaming, "Somebody help me, somebody help me." When she, first of all, the car has warrants and a bad registration. She has drugs on her. She runs around the car, gets into the driver's seat.
Of hers or his?
Of her car.
Mm-hmm.
She's in the car. He says he's fighting with her to get out the car. "Ma'am, get out the car, get out the car, get out the car." He's trying to pull her out the car. She leans over to the glove compartment, takes a gun out. He says, "Ma'am, don't put the gun down right now." He tases her. Nothing happens. She shoots him twice. He lights her up 3 times. He falls back on the ground on his knees. She gets in the car, reverses it, and takes off. But that's not a story that's in the media. You can go on right now and look it up.
I dig it. Listen, a story that's not getting enough fucking airways. I was telling you this a little earlier. I should have sent you the fucking thing. Police officer, this dude is like the fucking nicest thing ever. Sir, please, traffic stop. I think a lot of this has to do with traffic stops, bro. Traffic stops might need a different unit, might need a different type of person to approach this situation. We might need to get like a SWAT / therapist / I don't know what the fuck to deal with traffic stops, because that seems to be the problem, the traffic stop situation. Talks to homeboy, blah, blah, blah. They're in New Mexico. He says, "Sir, I'm going to need you to come out of the vehicle and come to my joint so we can politic. I'm going to run your stuff, blah, blah." Ridiculous things. As homeboy's opening the door, he realized that homeboy got a fucking sling to an AR-15. Now, this is not hate on AR-15s. That's not the point. But an AR-15 on his lap and shit. Tells the guy, "Listen, I see you have a gun. I'm going to need you to take it off for your and my safety." Homeboy comes around the thing, shoots the cop, leaves him dead. Shot him dead. Gets in the car, drives away. We understand, I believe, I have police officers in my family, that the job is rough. I get that. But in some of these other smaller towns, some of these guys have crazy fucking vendettas. And the problem is that I don't know what in the fuck is going on, but they were afraid of black people. And they're specifically afraid of black males. It scares the fuck out of them. Now, this is another thing I want to cover, and I feel like we went so ham on this, we might have to leave this for another fucking show. I want to clarify something, because I was talking to my missus yesterday, and I think that the American public is fucking confused. First of all, shout out to Uncle Salty for us always talking about this and him helping me understand things better. The Democrats push this whole thing of, or the Democratic messaging is Black Lives Matter. Okay. Yep. That was a terrible messaging, because it only makes people feel like that's the specific group that matters. Okay. In the messaging is not supposed to say that Black Lives Matter. They need to fucking straighten it out. Black Lives Matter when you're being pulled over, you can't fucking kill them. Okay. Now, there was my man. Oh, shit, I gotta stop saying that. There's a guy, Don Lemon, gets into an argument with a sheriff, right? They're arguing back and forth. They're talking about Blue Lives Matter. Don Lemon is another dude that, like Candace Owens, that's looked at as like an Uncle Tom kind of guy, whatever the fuck. I don't know about these motherfuckers like that, because I don't really give a fuck. But the number that keeps on is like a rebuttal, right? Is black on black crime is crazy. Yeah, no shit, black on black crime is crazy. But black on black crime has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter, and it also has nothing to do with black people being killed by policemen or police women now. Black on black crime is a totally different thing. Yes, I believe that the true people within the black community are just as upset about black on black crime as they are about police violence on black men specifically. Like, this shit is getting kind of crazy. Like, it just keeps on going more and more and more. I just want to clarify for people, because I think that the messaging of Black Lives Matter has fucked everything up. Because now you got Black Lives Matter, and then all lives matter. You know what the fucking statement should be? Life matters. And life definitely matters. Pulling me the fuck over, do not kill me. I also respond to what you're saying. Survive the altercation. Don't do nothing crazy. It is not worth your life for a warrant. It is not worth your life for getting pulled over, and it's definitely not worth your life, bro. If you got your ass whipped, no one even looks at this. I bet you Rodney King went to the bank. So you could sue the police department. The police department literally have an insurance policy of them bailing people out. So I think the overall message, whether they agree with you or they agree with me, we need to start surviving these altercations, because I'm like you, bro. I am ridiculously compliant because I don't want to get shot.
Exactly. But I just want to make sure that people understand. This is why I can't overreact to small little things. Why I always, if something happens, I like to cover all my bases and make sure I watch the whole video if there's video, and get whatever information is given to me as a whole. Because look at the kid. The kid listens, he doesn't die. The army dude, if he gets out the car and just complies, they just handcuff him. 1, 2, 3. Hey, listen, sir. We got a report of a black SUV leaving this area at a high rate of speed. Your vehicle matches description. That's the reason why we're pulling you over. Hey, I see that you in the army. You know, what's your name? What's your rank? Okay, can you just let's just figure this out. We're gonna get you situated, and you're on your way. Now, everything can be true. The problem I have with some certain people is if it has to be this or it has to be that. Were the cops dickheads? Yes. Should they be trained better? Yes. Should people comply and listen when during a routine traffic stop? Yes. These two things aren't mutually exclusive. They work hand in hand. That's why, like, I just don't want people to exacerbate certain things. So now, to switch it up just a little bit real quick, we're going to touch it real quick.
Because, bro, we're about to strangle each other.
Real quick, because I want to understand.
Shout out to Manny Laura for the love, baby.
And nobody's talking about this, right? Because to me, this is it's nothing to me. It's just a side effect of something. CDC comes out today and says 5,800 people who took the vaccine has been severely hospitalized after being fully vaccinated. And 74 people have died after being fully vaccinated. Why should the world go back on lockdown? Should the world close? Because from what it's
cause for pause. That's what I'm arguing. Because I agree with everything you're saying in context. But that's the thing. Yeah, no, motherfucker, not that we should go back on lockdown, but yeah, motherfucker should not have blanketed immunity. We shouldn't be rushing this shit, right?
But here's my thing, is what I'm saying.
I should be worried. You telling me to be like, trust you 100%. This shit is 95%, going to be good. I'm trying to stop one thing, and then I die from another thing that you gave me, that you said you're good, homie. Like, we're complying with you. You Gucci. We're going to take care of you.
But then again, so like what's going to happen is, right, which it's been my fucking MO since all of this, is that 74 people out of 100 million people vaccinated isn't a lot of people.
I get it, but it is cause for pause. That's all I'm saying.
I don't see it that way. It's just a process of effect of something that's to get to the greater good. How many people have died from polio, the chicken pox, the flu?
This is the thing. I think one thing that you might not be looking at, bro, one death is too many deaths. And I get it.
But we can't save everybody. That's humanly impossible. You're asking for some perfection, and nobody and nothing is perfect. You are. If you're saying that one life is too many, you're asking for perfection. It can't work like that.
We're not even valuing one life. We're looking now at the whole.
You have to.
No, listen, there's a thing, okay? And I don't mean to draw it to film, but I love film, okay? Did you see the last Mission Impossible? I know this is going to sound a little cheesy and corny. Alec Baldwin is talking to Tom Cruise. He's telling Tom Cruise is telling him, yo, I lost the plutonium. I fucked up. You know what Alec Baldwin tells him? You know why I fuck with you? Because you value one life. One life is just as important as all the lives. We're picking and choosing what lives matter. And that doesn't mean to say that I'm saying that black lives don't matter or black lives do matter or fucking all lives don't matter or do matter or black and blue, whatever the fuck the statement is for them. All I'm saying is that we're losing. I told you this before, bro. We're losing our sense of humanity. We're losing our sense of compassion. We're losing our sense of community. And I believe that one life does matter. But if you can save one life, you can save many lives. I'm not saying that.
But that is being done.
We're blurring the lines now of the conversation because now we're bringing in COVID stats.
No, but what I'm putting into perspective is that situations are going to go awry.
Yes, shit happens.
They're gonna go awry, and shit happens at a very tiny number that we cannot exacerbate because that is not a commonplace. If you were to tell me 1 out of every 2 people in the traffic stop got killed, that's 50%. Now we have a discussion, but that is not what's going on, and we can't exacerbate the 1, 2, 500 times out of millions, hundreds of millions. So now let's put it into perspective. There's 7 billion people on the earth right now, or 8 billion people on the earth. If 100 million people die, that's still not 1%.
I get that, but it's still that's calls for pause like a motherfucker.
But what I'm saying is still not. If it's still not a lot of out of the totality, that's not a lot.
I get it. Listen, I understand the math of it. You know,
we have to.
I think that the math is a little skewed when you talk about medical issues versus police matters.
I'm not talking. I'm not trying to compare.
I know what you're saying.
What I'm trying to say is that we can't exacerbate small things that rarely happen. That's the only thing. Well, that's my bottom point. My bottom point is you cannot make small things big because they're not.
I don't know, bro.
We're gonna go crazy. You're gonna go. We are. The society is the way it is right now at this boiling point is because people are reading too much into the media.
I get that. First of all, they should be they should be way more accountable. Yellow journalism is fucking bullshit. The fact that people fucking post shit and write shit that's like partially true, all this stuff. I get that. I just, to table it and to round it off, the numbers are concerning when it comes, in my opinion, to police having a difficult time arresting people. I also think that the numbers are different in a different regard when it comes to COVID. I'm gonna tell you this: the United States is in a fucking hot mess. It's in a hot mess with the problems with the border, the problems with immigration, motherfuckers arguing pro-life, pro-choice, motherfucking COVID, police brutality. I tell you this: I wrote it in the thing. If Shaw gets off, shit is gonna start burning down, bro. It's gonna get crazy. Motherfuckers gonna start lighting shit on fire. It's gonna be
gears to news or no news.
Wow, that was woo! Motherfucking tough in the building.
So we got
damn.
News or no news.
Guys, I'm gonna need a drink after this.
So that's gonna bring it around. So we got news or no news. We got Jets turned down a first round draft pick for Sam Darnold.
What do you think, bro? I say news only because they should have traded him for the first round pick. If they're trying to stockpile picks, they got 21 picks right now, or 22 over the next 2 years. That's dope. But it would have been like, to me, we didn't do the homework. I know I said that last week. We had a crazier show too last week. But this draft class is packed with players, whether it's wide receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, offensive linemen. I feel like if you're going to go get guys because you really don't have jack shit on the Jets, I would have said it's news because I think potentially it was supposed to be to the Niners. I would have took another first round pick. It's news to me. What do you think?
I say no news. I just think that the play dictates the value, and so for him it sucks. But the play, just didn't add up to a first round pick, and maybe he's gonna go and bowl out at Carolina. I don't think the Jets wanted more picks for their team. So if you just go get a 1 first round pick, that's not worth it as a Jets as you're trying to build something.
Okay,
you want to go get 2, 3 picks because you want to be in that third round, getting the extra talent. You want to be right in the enough in the, I think the 80 round of players when most of the players are really good. So you want to be stay in that area. So we want to get as much as possible. So I think the Jets did a good thing there.
Okay. Charles Wilson thinks that Aaron Rodgers will indeed end his career in another place. What do you think?
The way he's looking, maybe you see him over here doing Celebrity Jeopardy. So it might be. I think it might be. I say his news. Just because I think he's just tired of Green Bay. I think eventually he'll probably go somewhere for like a year or two. He's still young. In the sense of like, taking care of your body now. The new 40 is 25. So I could see that happening.
I say news because Peyton Manning retired somewhere else. Tom Brady retired somewhere else. Joe Montana retired somewhere else. So this is definitely news. I definitely think he needs to get out of there. What is news would be my answer. And so a little shout out to Jeopardy shit. I don't watch him on that. But obviously he's not working there. He's been there a long time. If he's got to win, he should go somewhere else. So I say it's news.
All right, we got Tom Hiddleston thought about quitting acting. News or no news?
I say it's kind of news only because he's kind of dynamite. I kind of like him as Loki. I digged him in King Kong. I feel like he kind of might be a little bit typecast. So we really hasn't seen him in doing like a lot of different stuff. But I mean, again, I don't gush too much about the celebrities. I just thought it was interesting that if he did drop out, Loki would have been recasted potentially or not been part of the Marvel universe. And I do think he adds a lot of value as Loki, and his dynamic with Chris Hemsworth is pretty good. Their chemistry is dope. So I say news.
I say no news. He again, cool. He's in a dope ass part of the Marvel universe, but I never watched anything else of him. It was like, wow,
you didn't like him in King
is
Kong?
Missing something. Who watched that?
I did. Oh, Skull Island. You like Skull
I
Island?
don't even know what that is.
I'll put this next one in there for you, so I'm gonna read it because I just love your comedy. Fast and Furious 9 dropped the trailer today. News and no news.
No news. It's gonna be Fast and Furious 28. They're never gonna end that shit. You got John Cena in there, Charlize Theron, and there's a whole bunch of other shit now.
Russell. They're gonna call up Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger, make it the Expendables versus.
The Rock made it fire, and then he left. I was like, I'm out of here before this shit goes.
Bro, you can blame fucking Vin Diesel for all of that bullshit. Apparently, did you hear this real quick? I say it's no news too, but they had a hit count. You heard of that shit?
What?
So like guys like Jason Statham, The Rock, Vin Diesel, like you could only hit them a certain amount of times because they have to hit the other character a certain amount of times. Like I ain't no bitch. I ain't like Van Damme or Rocky, and I get my ass whipped the whole movie, and then I get like 2 punches in, and I'm the fucking god. So anyways, they got a hit count. But I knew that your face is fucking priceless. All right, what's the next one?
We got Julian Edelman officially retires from the NFL.
I say news only because fucking the Patriots need everybody fucking all hands on deck. They can't fucking find their goddamn receiver in the draft or even in free agency. So I say news, and he's got some clutch catches.
I say news too. My little sneaky thing, which I thought was going to happen, was when the first report of getting cut. I thought he was going to go to Tampa.
Yo, just call up your man Brady and be like, yo, son.
Hey, yo, Julian, I need you for 6 plays.
That's it.
That's
Bro, he can ride the pine and just play in the Super Bowl and be catch one catch.
Because it's going to be it's a little scary, because not scary, but it's a little messed up because he has produced so big in the playoffs, but doesn't have good enough numbers in a regular season to be considered like a great or a Hall of Famer.
They got to start firing these fucking writers, and the writers really need to start really digging in on how.
When it comes with him, we could have another discussion. He's not a Hall of Famer.
Based on fucking playoff wins, I say yes. He might not be first ballot, but
he's never made one Pro Bowl, so I can't.
But that Pro Bowl is fucking voted by bullshit motherfuckers. Anyway, that's another argument. Go. Next, I'll get the next one. Yep. My pillow, right? You've seen the fucking stupid commercials. CEO Mike Lindell says that he's launching his own version of the Amazon store. News or no news?
Like an Amazon period, like
a physical store, I believe. Like he's gonna try to compete, like because now Amazon is going crazy. They got Whole Foods, and so he wants to start.
No news. It sounds stupid.
Okay. This one is more interesting. I don't know if you want to do this or not.
Go ahead.
Jake Paul, bro. News or no news, homeboys fighting this weekend. Do you give a fuck? Because I don't give a fuck. Forget about news or no news.
I don't even follow him at all. So I would say no news.
He's going to fight his first MMA fighter. So, poor Nate Robinson got judo chopped in the face and went down early.
Because Nate Robinson thought he was a shit. The athlete. And boxing, fighting is a different thing that people think is the easy thing to do, and it's not.
No, it's very difficult. That's why I as much as I disagree on certain things with Conor McGregor, the fact that he went 11 rounds with Homeboy was impressive.
Yep.
From a boxing standpoint. All right, that settles down news or no news. We're gonna start leading into around the leagues, where we talk about some of the hot buzzline bylines that are circling the MLB, the NFL, and the NBA. I got one. I don't know. But first of all, before we get into this, have you been looking? I know you're too busy, bro, because you're so fucking funny. Some of the shit you don't give a flying fuck about. Do you even care about the draft? No. Are you like even looking at dudes? You gushing about maybe who? Because that kid from Alabama, they're saying. I think Mel Kiper is saying that he's going to go to the Giants. Do you know about that kid at least?
Smith, you talking about?
Yeah. They're saying that he's going to the Giants.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Mel Kiper's 4.0 is got him going to the G-Man.
He's in a new mock draft for them.
He's already 4.0. No, you don't care. Okay, so you don't even know this guy Jamar Chase. How about Jamar Chase?
I know that was his. He's on the other side. He's on the other side. I know the players. I just don't. Okay.
You don't give a fuck. So, do you think that it would be a good reunion to get Joe Burrow, a weapon that he was comfortable with in LSU?
I say it should get him if he falls to 5. Kyle Pitts. Get him
nasty. I can't wait, bro. I was gushing about Homeboy yesterday because I seen this dude on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he's a filthy receiver. Forget about fucking tight end. He's a filthy receiver. Filthy receiver.
So he should if get him a safety blanket, get him a tight end.
Agreed. So that's what you need. There's more value with the tight end than there is.
Yeah, because you have a guy over the middle of the field. You have somebody who's going to win at one-on-one matchups with linebackers on them. You know.
So if you're Cincy, do you go to talk to Atlanta and say, "Yo, let's trade"? Because you don't want to miss on him. Because this is what it's looking like. We didn't even talk about it. Trevor Lawrence is a fact. Josh Booty let it slip out a little bit. The Urban Meyer, it's a lock.
No, he been said that.
Zach Wilson, right? Lock for Jets. Mm-hmm. Everybody's gushing on this kid. And then there's a toss-up because Fields, supposedly, they got Matt Jones in there. Some people have talked about Trey Lawrence. I don't know. I like Fields. Are you a Fields fan or what? Do you even know about?
Yeah, I know the kid from Ohio State.
What do you think? You think he's you like him or no?
The 49ers had to take a QB, and it looks like
right. So out of those 3 guys, do you know who Trey Lance is?
Yes. The kid from North Dakota
Fields?
State.
Mm-hmm. Fields? Yeah. And then what about
Mac Jones from Alabama?
Right. What do you think? Out of those 3, would you, if you're the Niners, you take who's pro ready?
I'll probably take Mac Jones.
Okay, cool.
Just because he's behind that offensive line in Alabama. They have NFL wide receivers running routes already. You go there, but Atlanta needs to take a quarterback.
That's what I said. You know what? I was thinking about you. I did a show yesterday, Jets Island, and I was saying, my man, bro, get a quarterback. Sell Ryan right now. I would. You know what I said? That's crazy. Sell Ryan and Julio.
Yep.
Sell them both. Sell them both. Blow the fucking whole thing up. I love you, Julio. I think you're a beast. Matt Ryan, you've definitely had a better career earlier, not so much towards the end. Also, it's not always your fault that the fucking defense always gives up fucking leads. So there's a combination of things going on. You know I'm a fucking fan of Calvin Ridley, but I think that Calvin Ridley can emerge as a number 1. You got to sell Julio. You definitely got to sell Matt Ryan, especially now where there's value for them. Do you give up a first-round pick for Julio Jones?
Yes.
And would you get a first-round pick for Matt Ryan? No.
Probably not. You probably get a second or a third, depending on what team is going after him. Even like if the 49ers, like if they say they swapped with Atlanta, if Atlanta wanted a better quarterback, I would like give me Matt Ryan, and then I would swap, and then I would draft Kyle Pitts, and I would have Kyle Pitts and Matt Ryan, and you can have at least Matt Ryan for the next 4 years. With Kyle Shanahan, remember, and that Falcons run was with Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan. The Kyle Shanahan's an offensive coordinator. So if they wanted to do that, they could, get more picks, but they moved up already and gave up a lot to get to. I know.
Playing devil's advocate, what do you think? You think there's going to be anything crazy like that happens for the draft, where someone, because right now Atlanta doesn't want the pick. That's the word on the streets. So obviously they believe in Ryan and Ridley and Jones. That's their core.
And supposedly they might trade back. Some of the rumors are they might trade back.
Yeah.
But if I'm done, I'll draft a quarterback, man. Or I do like I said, I would do that trade with the the 49ers.
That sounds brilliant. You know what's so funny? On Mel Kiper's 4.0 shit, he said that the Dolphins trade up and take Pitts.
They should.
Right?
They should. They need to give him a safety blanket because they have Mike Gesicki, who's okay, but
he's okay. He's okay. Played better, obviously, with Fitzmagic. Go ahead.
Talking about tight ends, you got Travis.
Segue.
Travis Kelce disagreed with Tyreek Hill, who thought Mahomes was trash.
Right. So I don't even know why you would think homie's trash. Obviously, balling. He was balling, but I mean, anything got to be. I shouldn't say anything got to be better than Alex Smith. But I mean, I don't know. That was a really weird draft, right? Because some could argue that you should have took Deshaun Watson.
Correct.
Right? In that same draft. And first of all, the Bears should be fired. Everybody on the Bears shit should be fired because they should have took Deshaun Watson.
Yep. And I don't know, like whatever Mitchell Trubisky came up, I don't know why he wasn't a winner in college. And for whatever reason, some of these quarterbacks get this budge.
No. It's not even about that. He just can't throw the rock. He just can't.
But what I'm saying is that he wasn't a winner or a thrower in college either. He wasn't a good
I don't even know how his stock, his value jumped up.
Now talk about Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Remember, we weren't there in the first year in practice.
Right, that's true too.
So we don't know what his strengths were or what his strength wasn't. Because remember, Texas Tech, his shit was just I'm throwing it deep. It was like playing NFL 2K6. I'm throwing it deep.
He still kind of plays like that.
Yeah, but I'm saying now, but that year,
every time he plays a team that kind of plays him tough in prevent, I mean, it's kind of tough. He doesn't. Yep. We got to see now this version of Mahomes, because now they got a playbook on you, right? So I might be. Who knows if Tyreek might be a little bit right? Because I like Tyreek. I'm not saying that I don't like Travis Kelce, but we still haven't seen the ceiling being pushed down on Patrick, only because Patrick now teams know what you play like. I mean, the Raiders play him tough. He's going to be dealing with that. And so we're going to see now that there's a bullseye on him. Also, too, some nagging injuries. He could be looked at as Mr. Glass.
And lost both his tackles.
Right. Well, they signed Joe Thunen. I think is Thunian. Last name Thunian. That looks to shore up the offensive line to help him out. I think there's nothing better than a running game. So I know everybody was high on Airin. I didn't really see it. I know the numbers reflected that, but I also know that garbage numbers also work in the NFL too.
They needed a Derrick Henry, or they shouldn't have panicked on Kareem Hunt so fast. They should have just took the penalty. He would have did whatever. He would have did his suspension, and Kareem Hunt would have still been there, and they would have been slapping fools.
100% agreed, because I fucking love Kareem Hunt. I almost shedded a tear when they were going to kick him out of the fucking league, and I was like, this guy's just fucking filthy. And now we see, as a Brown, he's filthy.
And he had to take a pay cut.
But speaking of the Browns real quick, do you think that, just to add a little bit more juice to this, do you think that Jadeveon Clowney is going to have an impact as a Brown?
I think in the run game, yeah, but not in the pass game. It just hasn't been there. It hasn't been there. And the crazy thing is in that same draft, if I'm not mistaken, Khalil Mack was in that same draft. And people were saying, hey, I like Khalil Mack more. He should be the number one pick because I like his motor more. Because
I was all over Khalil Mack. Over from day one. I was like, this guy's gonna be a beast.
And people were like saying Jadeveon Clowney, something he takes some plays off. He really didn't play his last year because he knew he was gonna be the number one pick. And
what are your thoughts on that?
Which is fine. If you know you're gonna go to the NFL.
Don't fucking risk that shit.
Exactly, for nothing. But when you are playing, you should be at 1,000%.
Yeah, 100%.
And be a beast.
Really quickly, while you ask me the next one, I think that this draft not only is going to be fucking stacked and a lot of talent, I think that the year off for a lot of these college players helped them.
Yep.
Because they weren't having to fucking...
That's wear and tear in their body.
Yeah. So I think the NFL is going to be fucking sick this season, bro. I think a lot of the rookies are going to splash onto the page like crazy. 17 weeks is going to give them that extra week to think. I want to ask you another question really quickly too before we move on. Do you know, because I asked somebody, they didn't have the answer for me, and I was too lazy to look it up. With the 17 weeks, right? Are we going to have no preseason games? Or are we going to have 2 preseason games? How's that work? Do you know?
I don't think they came out with that yet. I know they were going to take away preseason games.
Right? Yeah. That's the only
But I think they might not do it at all again this year, just because of COVID.
That makes sense too. Okay, go. This is your space.
Kyle Kuzma.
I should actually ask you this. Kyle Kuzma says that Andre Drummond kind of really never had the kind of has never really been coached in his career. So saying kind of like, he's played in kind of shitty offenses, and I guess that's him trying to hype up, saying that he might be more dynamic as a Laker with what they have there in the coaching staff and LeBron James. What do you think about that?
I think it's just overblown. I think he's just trying to hype up his homeboy. I think he's not really offensively gifted, period. So it's not like he's a Anthony Davis or Marvin Bagley or he's not KD, he's not Joel Embiid. He doesn't have those tools in his thing where he could shoot a good post up game. Is mostly just bully you, offensive rebounds, putbacks. It's not anything special. So it's like a little overblown.
So he's not even a double guy.
No, he is a double guy. But what I'm saying,
I'm asking because I don't really. All these guys move places. I don't really watch the NBA like that, especially because I would watch the YouTube versions of it, but I'm not drawn that much to it. I love the NBA. I love basketball. Mm-hmm. I don't really watch some of these other kind of. I'm just LeBron James. I put him on. KD. I put him on. I'm just like one of those guys. It's like,
but just because he's a double, he's like a 15 and 10 guy, 15-12 guy, or sometimes 20 and 15 guy. But it's
it's pretty dynamic.
Yeah, but it's all off of offensive rebounds. Go back up, foul, layup makes it in.
He's not making his own shot. He's not an animal. He's not taking it to the fucking rack.
Or screen, roll, alley-oop dunk.
Okay.
It's nothing crazy where he's had a couple of 20-20 games. But again, that's fine. He's a 7-footer. He's doing his job, getting rebounds. He's doing his job like similar
position.
Because exactly. He's like doing kind of what Zion kind of does, where Zion he kind of gets his points off of like broken plays, of rebounds.
An opportunity scorer, not so much creating your opportunity.
Exactly. So that's where it comes from. So like Kyle Kuzma's just saying this is just to say like wherever Drummond was, those coaches sucked, which you're not wrong. The coaches did suck. So because look right now, look at the Pelicans. The Pelicans suck, and Drummond was with the Pistons, and Stan Van Gundy was the head coach of the Pistons, president of the Pistons. So
terrible
there, and terrible with the Pistons.
Like Shaq says, terrible, horrible, or no, it's Charles Barkley, terrible, horrible, all that bullshit. Like the Frank Caliendo impressions, terrible, horrible. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I wanted to ask another question that I didn't put in this, and I realized that I didn't put in this because I love really massaging your NBA shit. I've seen this shit. You tell me because I know you know. Are the Nets in trouble because they don't play defense?
Until I see all three guys on the court at the same time,
fair.
I can't make a determination yet. But those three guys, only KD is the only one who plays defense. Talking about the Nets, and we don't have it on here. LaMarcus Aldridge retired.
What?
Because supposedly he was playing with an irregular heartbeat.
Shit.
And then the doctors told him he went.
Why can't you play with that?
Because the exhaustion, the heart palpitations.
But he been playing the whole fucking time.
Well, not his whole career, but he just said that he just started getting it because he said he didn't feel good, some shit like that. And then the doctor said that he'll be okay, it's fine to play with, but that he's not gonna put his life at risk or put anything for his family just in case.
So speaking of, we were talking about doubles and shit, right? And I seen within that byline, thank God I read fast, but they were saying that Blake hasn't really contributed on the defensive side of the floor. Why are they not playing Jordan more? Or are they playing Jordan more? Because Jordan, I know a lot of people give shit to Jordan, but Jordan gets it done, bro. And he comes with energy.
Like that's what I like about is Jordan. He's not a shot blocker. You know what I'm saying? And so like you have a guy who's
I need you to stop the shot.
Yeah, and he gets exposed in the perimeter. You need defenders to not get exposed in the perimeter. Get driven by or get shot over a three over your head. That plays a huge factor in it. But he's gonna be valuable, like I would say, against the Clippers or in the finals if they play the Lakers.
I want to ask you. You watch, right? I talked to my guys in Vegas. Shout out to Vegas Jimmy. Doesn't nobody play defense in the NBA during the regular season?
Yeah, nobody does. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's overblowing it. But
so you look at does he play shitty postseason defense?
Who?
DeAndre Jordan.
I
know he hasn't been that much.
He hasn't won anything when he was there. So like,
it's still okay.
The Clippers. Because then what happens is that history is not working in favor of the Nets just because high offensive teams don't win championships.
Got it. Yes, I get that. Boom. Okay. So I saw this whole thing. Thank God, because my spelling game is shot. So pitching angry, Jensen rebounds to seal deal. I don't really give a flying fuck about their closer. Are the Dodgers the problem in the MLB? Meaning like they're just gonna fucking rock them? Because everybody usually thinks you take a year off once you win the chip. The Dodgers are, by Vegas standards, the #1 overall team to win the World Series. What do you think? Dodgers all the way? Because they look fucking lights out, bro.
I think remember I feel like it kind of started up again fast. I don't think they took a break, even though it kind of stood on schedule. I think
you're saying because it was like right there, they still kind of in the mode.
Yeah, so I think they were fine. I think we'll see when we get to the playoffs. We'll just see who's going to step up. But they look locked in. They look dialed. They should. Everybody looks good on paper. Like the Bucks should repeat. The Dodgers should repeat. You got the Lakers. They hopefully should repeat. But sports don't work like that.
But I get
especially in baseball.
But baseball, I mean, the Dodgers are more hungrier than any other organization right now because they've been to like back-to-backs. I don't know.
And then also right. Too with the being cheated, being cheated by the Astros.
They got fucking fire under their ass. So and in my opinion, they got the best fucking player on the planet. Mookie Betts is just unfucking believable. I can't believe the fucking these guys gave it away. All right, so then I didn't even share it with you because I wanted to do it. So you got the Dodgers. I think they're like plus 400, no plus 250. Yanks are plus 400 maybe, and then I think Padres are like plus 650 or something like that to win the whole thing, right? So those are the top 3 teams by Vegas. 4 is the White Sox. The White Sox are fucking fools up. How good are the White Sox?
It's still early, like especially with teams like that.
But they went to the playoffs last season, and they be smacking home runs like nobody's business. And this year, their pitching staff is dialed.
We'll see.
2 of their guys lead. I know it's early. It's only 12 games in, 13 games in. But they have 2 guys in the batting average area.
That's good. That's good. That hopefully they stay on it. I've been to the city of Chicago. It's dope ass city. But the White Sox, they haven't won anything in like almost ever. I don't think I've ever won.
No, they won. They won on the Ozzie-Guillen. Yeah, Ozzie-Guillen.
Did they win a chip?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I was on the bandwagon because they hadn't won in so long, and the Cubs didn't win, so they were kind of the win for the Cubs. But the Cubs were fucking still mad because it wasn't the fucking Cubs, and they didn't have the curse. They got one. They got 1 chip. They got 1 chip in an hour time frame. Thank God MLB is like second to me in my favorite. So another thing, I know you're probably gonna like chop it up to this too. Couple no hitters already. I don't know if they changed the ball, but you think it's because they're dialed? Do you think it's because they changed the ball?
I think most of these guys worked on their craft. I think a lot of these pitchers worked on due to COVID, only thing you could do was to work out, focus on your craft. I think a lot of these guys came in locked in, probably had a lot of a pitching thing in their house or a batting thing in their house, and these guys came in ready to go. I think, and then you got some of these stadiums are letting fans in. Texas, Big Dick, love you guys. They full capacity, no restrictions. You don't have to force to wear a mask. It brings juice. It brings having people there cheering for you. Look at Tampa Bay Rays. They had nobody there even with no COVID. Yeah. So it didn't matter. But
poor guys, they never get no love. The Tampa Marlins, like no support. Even Jacksonville Jaguars, they're like a 10% capacity. Fuck, I was gonna ask you. Oh, I wanted to give a shout out to Joe Musgrave, San Diego Padre pitcher, homegrown San Diego guy. He got the no hitter. It would have been a perfect game if he didn't hit a batter to get him on base. And I think the Chicago White Sox have that other no. If I'm not mistaken.
All right, talking about this real quik before we're still on the leagues.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Aaron Donald getting assault charges brought against him?
Okay, so now this is fresh to me. I like when you bring me this stuff. So we got to hear a couple of things. Assault charges by a young lady?
No, a man.
Doesn't matter. No news.
See how fucked that is for men?
No news. Yo, bro, don't even get me fucking started. No news. You know why? Because Chase Claypool just fucking kicked some dude in the fucking face. Story over. Marshawn Lattimore, some crazy shit. No story. Aaron Donald's fucking yoke. Why were you fucking with him? You should have been like, I'm sorry, sir. I will buy you a pitcher of beer. You're so fucking Diesel. You're like the fucking Hulk. I love you so much. You're the man. The end. No story. Get the fuck out of here.
That's crazy.
Right?
But now look, and then we talk about Deshaun Watson, and this is getting dragged on for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
Motherfucker. One guy who probably bumped this is some fucking yoked ass, angry ass fool, and then some other motherfucker that was getting young ladies off of goddamn Instagram, and now it's up to 22. Fuck, bro. Like if it was 1-1, right? And then now, you know, the first Jane Doe came forward, and I think the second Jane Doe came forward so they could look at the stuff in discovery from law perspective.
I don't believe that bitch at all.
It doesn't matter. You know what the problem is? She asked for money, and so that's going to be defamation, and they're going to figure out a way to fucking discredit her thing. Listen, if you feel violated, you are violated, okay? That's the end of the story.
No. Can't be in the story.
Hold on, wait.
You have to be violated in order for it to be violation. You can't feel violated.
No, you can.
No, you can't.
In this world now, you can.
No, fuck this world. No, it can't be that way.
Listen, how about this? He showed her his pee-pee. She didn't want to see it. Violation. Flag on the play. Holding 20-yard penalty.
So you know what happens? You should do. You turn around. You leave. You call your mom. Hey, or your sister, or your boyfriend, or your husband, or whoever the fuck you call, and say, "Hey, listen, I'm really comfortable."
So you say there's a little bit of a gray area because they might have decided.
No, it's black and white. If you ever got a massage, if you never got a massage, I'm explaining to you very carefully. You go, you lay down. You come into the room. Once you come into the room,
let's start from the beginning. You come into the room.
You come into the room. The masseuse says hello, blah blah blah. How you doing? What areas of your body do you work on today? Also, I'm gonna step out the room while you prepare to lay down on the table. Dress to your level of comfort. And lay under the sheets.
Sheets, by the way, not towel.
Correct.
Sheets.
But I'm saying if he's in his own house, I'm pretty sure he's coming to the masseuse table in a towel.
That's the smallest fucking towel on the planet.
All right. Now, let's say if you're there.
You fucked it up.
So let's say if you're there, right? And he's naked and you feel uncomfortable, you would say, "Hey, listen, Mr. Watson, I'm uncomfortable. You're naked."
Okay.
Professional or anything, if you feel a situation is uncomfortable. Now, if you say, "Mr. Watson, I don't feel comfortable that you're naked," and he says, "Oh, well, deal with it," then you know what you should do? You leave.
That's flag on the play, or still not flag on the play?
You leave, but she can say, "Hey, listen, don't do massages with Mr. Watson because he likes to be naked under the covers."
Well, I think girl 21 or 22, that was her approach.
Correct. There's a few of them.
Maybe I should make a segment called that. Cause for pause is that story's congruent with about 20 women about making them all feel uncomfortable. So there's kind
feeling uncomfortable is not against the law. You feeling uncomfortable. Okay. Let's say if he runs out of his house, runs down the block, and he's butt ass naked, that is against the law. You cannot do that.
Right.
If he's in his crib, about to get a masseuse, which he's probably gotten hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, butt naked, he doesn't anything of it. And now let's say out of 500 women, 450 had sex with him, consensual sex. And again, we're gonna go by numbers. 450 have sex with him. Well, let's say there's 1,000 women, and whatever 25, 30 women come on and say, he made me feel uncomfortable. That you feeling uncomfortable has nothing to do with did he grab you, put you down on the table, and have sex with you? Did he force you to have sex? Did he force you to give him fellatio? Did he force you to do these things? If you, by feeling uncomfortable, is not the same thing. You can feel uncomfortable if you're in the street and you hear somebody have a negative conversation.
But that's the thing. In the workspace, if you felt violated in the workspace, and let's say you and me were in the motherfucking water cooler, chomping it up, and we say something crazy, we could get fired because we made somebody feel uncomfortable.
Okay, but you don't go to jail, and you don't go in. It's not sexual assault. It's not assault and battery. It's not assault and battery. If I said, "Yo, I'm gonna punch Mike in the face today,"
it's not rape.
Right. You know what I'm saying? If I say, "Yo, I'm gonna go today," I'm talking to you or I'm talking to somebody and say, yo, I'm gonna go punch Dustin in the face today. You cannot then go to the courts and say, hey, I want to charge this guy with physical assault. Doesn't work that way.
Or conspiracy for assault. Before we get out of this, because we haven't even came back to Deshaun shit in a minute. Where would it be that it would be a slippery slope like that? Because this is the thing, right? The Me Too movement has a lot more to do with powerful men using their power to kind of solicit sexual favors. Does that play anywhere in the argument?
First of all, any woman, it's basically a business transaction. I think any of those situations that a woman says that she felt like she was being taken advantage of, I think it's bullshit. Because you don't get, I don't see any of those celebrity women giving back all their money. I don't see any of them tell them to take the names of all those movie roles. I don't see it losing makeup deals or anything along those lines. Now, if you have a man who is forcing themselves on you, pinning you down, holding you, and sexually abusing you in that way, that's a cause for pause. Or doing the Bill Cosby route, drugging you and then having sex with you. Okay. But if I say, hey, listen, do you want to have your own role? Do you want to be a fucking movie star?
Yeah, knock and blow me in. You got to pay.
And then you have the decision to make.
This is a dangerous, and not saying that we're not going to have it, but this is a dangerous conversation in the space, because I don't think that was something that was really like scrutinized, right? Like,
no, of course. Look at Louis C.K. He got canceled because
he was beating up on the phone.
No, he asked women. When he got his rocks off on, he would say, "Hey, Lucille, would you mind if I jerk off in front of you?" And one of the women,
they said yes, and then they sued him for that.
Exactly, because they felt uncomfortable after the fact, because that
doesn't make any sense.
They found that. That's what I'm saying. So they would say Louis C.K. fucking sexually assaulted me because he jerked off and came in a corner on a rag. Well, I watched him. You understand what I'm saying? So we're on the slippery slope.
Yeah, this is. I mean, we got to look at it under a tougher microscope, because
we can't do this thing with feeling.
I feel like this. I know that's the thing. We gotta be less emotional into some of these things. The thing is that when you start talking about, like, feeling uncomfortable sexually, it's just it's an alarm that goes off in people's head.
But But that's what I'm saying. People need to understand. If you feel uncomfortable, guess what you do? You leave the situation. Now, if that person is holding you against your will, that's against the law. That's kidnapping. That's whatever. Holding you against your will. But if somebody says, hey, listen, I want you to put a mango around my dick and suck it. Like, wait, listen, it's not going down like that. I'm out.
Hold it down. Chill out. All right, listen.
That's what I'm saying. Is that we need transparency.
I don't even know how we're going to fucking jump this up. This shit is so fire. All right, let's get into some good news, God damn it. Okay. Fuck. Critics Corner. Okay, we were. I think the last we checked, we were 10-5. I want to go back and look at some of those films so we could do a fucking recap. But we didn't like a lot of the comic book stuff that was released.
Well, just Justice League bum ass movie.
We didn't like Wonder Woman. And there was another.
We're 2 and 4.
Yeah. Okay, I want to look back at it and check it out. But we didn't like Wonder Woman. We didn't like Justice League. I don't think we liked Little Things. There was like another one in there that we didn't like, but we did like Cherry. We did like I Don't Care. And now we're looking at this week. So far, so good. The Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4 deep in.
5 comes out this week.
Yeah.
Today.
By the way, are you kind of PO'd that we gotta wait week to week for this shit and not Netflix style where they just give us the whole fucking thing?
I think that's just that's their business plan. That's their business model. You're gonna have other things doing that.
You as a person, like, we're so used to binging the whole series. How do you feel? Is it okay for you to wait a week? Like, does it build anticipation? Does it make you hungry?
Kind of. But the only thing that sucks is that if you're on social media, there's a little bit of spoilers out there because people are annoying. They'll tape something or say something or like come up on your feed on YouTube. Episode 3 explained, blah 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 blah. And they'll have like an image or something. So it's really more like social media ruins it. But I don't know. It gives you something like if there is nothing to watch, it gives you something to watch. Because like there's some shows that I really love. So like I love Mindhunters on Netflix, but I gotta wait 2 or 3 years every time it comes out. I like Billions. That comes out week to week on Showtimes. But like if you wait for one long chunk, you watch it really quickly. But if you watch it in segments, it's okay. I think it's fine. It keeps you engaged. I think it gives you, kind of water cooler talk to some of your people, some of your friends. So I think it's not that bad.
So Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier, you totally approve, right? It's
Yeah,
homeboy
for sure.
like slam dunk.
Yep, for sure. They did a great job. The when they introduced him in the movie series, Winter Soldier, I think it was.
I think Marvel's done a great job at casting.
Yep, and I think that's one of the best Marvel movies. Like it's like top 3, top 4.
For me, it's something. I still watch that shit like over and over again. Yep. That's how good it is. I really, really like it. Speaking about Winter Soldier, the movie Captain America, Anthony Mackie is just unbelievable, right?
Yeah, he's just all over the place. Like you see the movie with him on Netflix? Yeah,
fire. But it was just too long. It was too long.
It was definitely too long.
It was just too much. Like I wish
they talk about that next week.
Yeah, it was. That's what I'm worried about. That new Anthony B. Jordan movie. I mean, Michael B. Jordan movie. That I'm afraid that they're gonna give us so much backstory and so much dialogue that we're gonna lose it. Fucking 90 minutes, guys. And then maybe you can make another one, right? Like keep people wanting more. But I think.
So what are your thoughts on so far?
Level of production is unbelievable. Backstory is great. I'm not so crazy about who are the super soldiers. I would say that's kind of the weak sauce thing. I think that the young lady playing the character, like she's powerful, but I kind of like, I don't know. Some of the action is a little over the top. I do like Captain America, the new version, because you could tell homeboy has like ulterior motives. I just don't know how I like his face. So he looks
weird.
Not only that, he just looks like a bad guy. Like they didn't do a good job at picking somebody that you'd be like, oh shit, he's gonna turn bad.
Did you see the last episode?
Yeah, I did. But I'm just saying, like, he just looks like a character. Like even when I first seen him and didn't see anything, I was just like, I don't know if this is the guy. Like you could already, like, you know what? Sometimes you watch a movie and then you're like, oh shit, this guy's out of place.
I think that they casted him that way for a reason. I think they want him to look like the bad guy.
I also think his partner kind of is like an odd man out too.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
The other guy, I'm just like, you guys are like the B squad. And I get it, they kind of are.
But I think they're doing that on purpose. I think they're doing that on purpose. I think so.
I'll tell you those chicks from fucking Wakanda, no motherfucking joke, boy.
Yep. She fucked everybody up.
Damn.
And I thought that was a dope ass twist to bring Homeboy back from Winter Soldier.
Bro, first of all,
Civil War.
Kudos, because I know they were trying not to do it so much with the like Captain America was our first masked, besides Batman, but masked in the Marvel universe superhero. I totally dig his ensemble. I'm glad that they bought the mask, because one of the things for me for Wolverine was they never gave Homeboy the mask. Like so, you were never really Wolverine. You were always Logan. That's who you played the whole fucking time, right? So it's kind of cool that they weren't afraid, but you can see that they're even nervous about keeping the mask on him all the time, because he should be using that shit like his alter ego type of shit. Like every time he goes popping off, he should be throwing the fucking mask on. I hate that I don't know that actor's name, but boy, is he bringing it.
Yeah,
he's carrying the fucking show big time. I really dig the dynamic between Mackie and Stan. They're unbelievable. Like their joking shit is just comedy when they're the therapist.
They going back and forth. Yeah,
it's fucking great. Even I was just watching. I was watching fucking what I was watching Civil War, and he's like, "Can you move the seat up?" He's like, "No."
Yep.
I don't know.
And then they brought it back again.
That shit is just fucking comedy. He's like,
what was crazy is that they Captain America killed Homeboy with the shield.
Yo, spoiler for sure. That was definitely a mother. I was like, what in the fuck? I
said, oh shit. And my girl was like, yo, what happened? I was like, shit.
Like, are you watching it in the living room or you watch your media?
I watch it in the living room. I pop in the living room. I make sure the kids will go to sleep. My girl's walking around the house doing something.
He's being security guard and checking on shit, make sure that nothing's popping off.
The stove is off, the girls are sleeping, nonsense.
I know how moms do, you know.
So I was like, oh shit. She's like, what happened? I'm like, what just fuck just happened in the show? Homeboy killed him with the shield, and then had the blood on the bottom of the shit. I thought he was gonna wipe it off on his leg or some shit. That would have been even more crazy. So I'm looking forward to this week's episode so I can see what the fuck goes on.
I wanted to say we never did the Mandalorian, but I feel like the Mandalorian had like this really weird printing press kind of thing. It was like he went to a planet, somebody was in trouble, he hated them, he helped them, and then he moved on to another planet, right? And so boom, 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 that was always over. What I love about The Winter Soldier and WandaVision, it's like completely different shows every show. Like each show is encapsulated as almost 45 minutes to an hour movie. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, this is incredible that the acting level is just fucking through the roof. The comedy is great. The satire is awesome. I loved when he was like, bro, I look like a crazy looking dressed like black dude. He's like, bro, that was only in America. In this country, you're a fucking pimp if you dress like that. Like your swagger's on 1,000 if you fucking like, a black guy with style, right? Only in America, they look at you like you're fucking crazy. But in fucking Europe, they're like, this man is the man. And it was just great, bro. The old cars are dope. You could tell that homeboy is always up to something. Then now they add, because you already spoiled alert, the shield thing, him pocketing the serum. So now let me ask you, do you think he took the serum already?
No,
I
thought the whole time they gave him serum.
Right, me too. That's what I don't understand.
I found that a little weird that supposedly like
an average dude could fight super soldiers. Yeah. That's another thing too, by the way, that has me a cause for pause as well, because I know there's been the theme of the show. What does Falcon have? They make Falcon like an animal. He just has wings. He has no super soldier shit. He's basically like Batman.
But he's never had it though. So like
that's what I'm saying. So what makes him like he was a paratrooper, right? And when we go to like his origin story in the Captain America.
Well, he has the little drone shit. He's like Batman. He looks like Batman.
I get that, but I mean, he's fighting super soldiers too, and he's bringing it hard to them. So they in the fight scenes, they make Mackie look almost, if not as strong as Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is actually a fucking,
a super soldier.
Right. So that's what I'm saying, right? Because then when they fight the Wakandian women, they're also Mackie's holding himself, but the Captain America guy is getting his ass whipped.
Exactly.
So I just felt that like story consistency was a little strange for me, if I'm gonna nitpick a little bit.
Exactly. And he was throwing the shield and then like knocking them and stuff like that. I was like, what's going on here? Like I thought they gave him the serum and then
now he's what, a fucking Joe? And a fucking Joe's whipping ass? I don't believe.
And then he was and then instead of making the little plot twist with him getting tight that he got fucked up by the girls, by the Wakanda women, he was like, oh, I lost to these people and they're not even super soldiers.
But I don't know, bro. They're dialed. So maybe that's another thing that they're trying to bring into the element, right? That we didn't even think about as a satire, that it really doesn't have to deal with if you're a super soldier or not. It just has to do with the level of commitment and training. Like you were saying earlier about,
for sure.
So like in Wakanda, they fight motherfuckers like every day.
They've been fighting since like 2 years old, probably like training and everything.
It's like Black Widow, because Black Widow, I was thinking about it the other day. Tabby asked me, they don't got no superpower. She don't have no fucking
right? and Hawkeye.
Right. So they're like just well trained
killers.
Right, yeah. Crazy.
But I enjoyed it. I can't wait for episode 5.
I dig it. I think it's fucking fire, bro. I really, really like it. I think it's fun. I think Disney, good for them for buying it, right? And not only for buying it, but holy shit,
giving these guys the freedom to do it, man.
Yeah, they didn't get into these guys' way. They're letting the tapestry speak for itself. They're not afraid.
I hope they let my man Ryan Coogler go off. I think let him do whatever he wants. Give him a blank check. Just let him go off. He's been killing it, man. He's killed it. He killed it with Wakanda. You just gotta let him go. Just let him go, and we'll see what they got.
Wow. So original 3TZ.
That's Pretzel. My man Pretzel.
Oh, my man Pretzel. I think my man Pretzel. Pretzel's fire. He helped us out last week with the audio, a few weeks back with the audio shit. He said there's only 2 weeks left. That fucking sucks. So we only got 2 more episodes.
Well, remember they're an hour each, so there's 6 hours of thing. Which I thought
that's like a 6-hour movie. That's fucking crazy.
Which I thought was crazy. Was I thought about it too. I was like, damn, they gave Wanda the woman 30 minutes, and they gave the 2 guys an hour show.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense when you think about it. Only because Wanda was one character,
so she had Wanda and Vision. But
right. No, but it was more her, right? So they gave her like half an hour to develop. You got because another thing that I really digged, because I didn't even think about this, because you forgot about it. But the Winter Soldier was hanging out in Wakanda for a hot minute.
So that's back
cool there. That they showed, in a past vision, that they helped him overcome some of his stuff, you know, and that they were. I would love if they dove into that more. Like he trained with them and got all lit with them and all kind of other things. But
so he was tight when they dropped his arm, when she took his arm off. He was like, "Hold that, that's my shit, bitch." And he's like, "I didn't even know that could happen."
I know, but I keep talking the shit out of him. It was like, bro, did you know they could do that? He's like, no, I didn't know. Yo, they have great. It's great. It's great. I think it's awesome, man.
They got good chemistry.
It sucks that I think it was you or somebody else told me that they're not even going to try to do a second season. It's just like a one-off in between while they work on other shit. The next one up though is Loki, which I find interesting. I think they dropped already the trailer for that, so that's going to be the next Marvel TV show. I don't know what Marvel. I think isn't it Doctor Strange that's up next in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
You have Black Widow.
No, but actually, you're right. That was one that we didn't see, and that's coming out in a couple of weeks. Or yeah, probably a couple months.
Black Widow's July for sure.
You know what I didn't like? Why do I gotta be a premium access member? How much they want for that shit, bro? HBO Max.
It's not even how it works. So this is how they trick you. So it says you have to be a premium access member.
Got that.
And you still have to buy the movie. So a premium access member is somebody who pays for the subscription. That's what you are. You pay for the subscription.
And then they get you movie outright,
and then you got to buy the movie. No, not outright.
Yeah, just to rent it.
Just to basically rent it, like he was in the movie theater, and then wait for it to come out.
Oh my god! What in the fuck? Oh my god! Okay,
it's looking good, man. I definitely want to see this next week. One movie, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I do want to watch for next week.
Tell me.
I want to watch Them.
What the fuck?
Amazon Prime. If I'm not mistaken, it's from Homeboy who did Us, and
Kid and Peele, but I forget what his real name is.
I think he did Them.
Jordan. What the fuck is it?
Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele.
Thank you.
It's called Them. It's on Amazon Prime.
It's already out?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a TV show or a movie?
It's a movie.
Thank God. I'm watching that tonight. Here we go. I got something to fucking. I'd be like fucking hitting it. I'm like, God damn, I can't get nothing. By the way, there's another movie that Tom Holland just did that went straight to like,
one of the things.
What do you think about that one? Is that the name of the title?
No. What's it called? You know?
Well, I don't fucking know. It's with the chick from Star Wars. Maybe my man Original Pretzel knows, but yeah, it looks pretty sick. I seen it a little bit, but I didn't get into it. But Them. All right, so how about this? We'll preview it for next week. Let's do Them. I'll watch it tonight. You've already obviously watched it. Jordan Peele, I think, is
I haven't watched it yet. I just saw it. I wanted to see it.
Jordan Peele is a filthy animal as a director. He's comedy as a comedian. I think that he should be doing way more stuff. They should be calling him up to figure it out. By the way, what was the comments? Was it just was it Laura?
Pretzel? We had Manny earlier. Yeah, Pretzel.
Was it right?
Yep.
What's Pretzel my man saying? WandaVision, Falcon, Black Widow, Doctor Strange. Then okay, cool. That makes sense. At least we got stuff. And I'm happy. So, damn, I got to look at this. See, I was confused. I thought they wanted me to pay more, but they technically do. But they only want me to pay more to rent it. So once you rent it, it doesn't like release it for your subscription. It like goes away. That's going to be some bullshit.
But remember, then down the line, 6 months, 7 months, it comes out on HBO Max.
I'm just going to fucking hack that shit. See? Which I made me
All right, guys. God. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell every time we go live. Check down below in the description. You could hear the audio versions on iTunes and Spotify. And also follow us on all our socials down in the description below. All right, Dustin, I'll catch you.
Yes, sir. Stay safe. Thanks for listening and stay healthy. I didn't do it in the same order I normally do it. Thank you, guys. Peace out.